Day 31 of my body transformation. The walking is starting to get harder now. When you're carrying this much weight, hours of walking every day, it catches up to you, man. Even with the ankle wraps on, I've been limping sometimes. I've got flat feet, so ankle pain is nothing new, but it's getting harder to ignore. Some days I've had to take painkillers just to push through. I'm thinking of signing up to a gym again soon. Maybe the static bike will be easier on my joints. But today, I got a call that made all of that feel lighter. It was my mum, or Mama Get Right as some people call her. She said she was watching YouTube and out of nowhere, one of my videos popped up on her feed. I hadn't actually told her I'd started making videos again, so she was shocked, in a good way. She told me she was proud of me, gave me some advice, and said she now truly understands what I'm trying to achieve. She said she had tears in her eyes while talking to me, and hearing that made me realize just how much this means to her too. We don't live in the same city anymore, and I've never been the best communicator, so I know she worries and prays for me a lot, but I think I'm doing much better now. Things are looking up. So if you're watching this right now, please do me a favor. Leave a comment for Mama Get Right and let her know her son's going to be okay and is finally winning the fight she's been praying for all these years. Day 32 of my body transformation. 4 weeks now, I've been focusing on the scale, chasing those big drops. But today I decided to measure something else, my waist. And honestly, I wasn't ready for what I saw. The problem was, the tape didn't fit, not even close to be honest, and it goes up to 60 inches. Now I could buy a bigger tape, sure. But honestly, this gave me another goal to chase. To get my waist small enough to fit the one I already have. It's a weird mix of feelings. Part of me thought I'd be discouraged, but I'm not. I'm 32 days in, I've already dropped over 40 pounds, and now I've got a brand new target to work towards. I even signed up to the gym again today. I'm still walking, that's not stopping, but I need something easier on my joints too. The static back and cross trainer might be a good option. Less pounding on the ankles, same calorie burn, and it's one way to keep the momentum going. The scale says one thing, the tape measure says another, but together they're telling me exactly what I need to hear. Keep going. Day 33 of my body transformation. Today I went to the gym, but before I even got there, I had to face another battle. I don't drive, so I had to take the bus. Now I haven't been on a bus in years. Everything I need is usually close or I just get it delivered, so I'll be real. I was anxious. I knew I'd take up more than one seat, maybe even two, and I was already imagining people looking at me funny. But when I got on, it wasn't that bad. The bus was mostly empty, no one cared. The whole thing was just in my head. There's probably a lesson in that. When I finally got to the gym, it was a new one I'd never been to before. First thought, this place looked nice. I walked around checking out the equipment, figuring out where things were, and the boxing area, man, this looked especially cool to me. After getting changed, I stuck to cardio, rotated between a cross trainer, the recumbent bike, heavy bags, and even this half tire flip thing they had. It was way heavier than it looked, but I gave it a good go. One thing about me, if it's a challenge, I'm at least gonna try. Eventually, more people started showing up, and even though I upload videos for thousands of people online to see, it still felt different being there in person. I was self-conscious, yeah, but I pushed through it. By the time I left, I realized I'd overcome a lot of battles today, just by showing up and doing the work. By the end of the session, I realized today wasn't just about working out, it was about walking through fear, from the bus, to the gym, to standing in front of others. The first step's behind me now, and this place, I have a feeling this is where the real transformation begins. Alright, time for week 5 live weigh-in. Last week I was 492.6 pounds. Let's see what I weigh this week. Alright, I'll take it. I will take it. 487.8 pounds. 487.8. So not a crazy drop like last time, but it is a drop nonetheless. Remember, this slow motion's better than no motion. Hey, guess what? That's 4.8 pounds off of my body, off of my ankles, off of my knees, off of my back, and towards my goal of 200 pounds. So I will take it. Day 35 of my body transformation. At the start of the week, I was 492.6 pounds. And like always, I locked in, eating clean, walking, and I even joined the gym. The next weigh-in day came around for week 5. I went live on YouTube, stepped on the scale, 487.8 pounds. That's a 4.8 pound loss this week. But if I'm being real, my first reaction was disappointment. I'd gotten used to dropping double-digit numbers every week, and this time, it felt smaller. I felt like the number didn't represent all the work I'd put in this week. But then I caught myself. 4.8 pounds in a week is still a lot. That's almost 5 pounds of pressure off my joints, off my heart, off my body in 7 days. And when I zoomed out, it hit me. In just 5 weeks, I've dropped 48 pounds. 48! It's quite insane just to say out loud, and it's not just the scale noticing. People on social media have been flooding me with support, saying they can already see the difference. The love is overwhelming at times, but it also fuels me. It makes me want to keep showing up. So yeah, maybe it wasn't another £10 week, but it doesn't need to be, because 48 pounds in 5 weeks proves one thing: consistency works. And I know if I keep stacking weeks like this, the results are going to be life-changing. Day 36 of my body transformation. I had planned to hit the gym today, but when it came down to it, I just couldn't be bothered. Not with the packing, the bus ride, the checklist of stuff I can't forget. It's crazy how the little things, the friction, can make something feel impossible. So instead of taking the day off altogether, I kept it simple. I walked in my apartment again, and honestly, it reminded me why this works. No bags, no traveling, no excuses. Just me, the floor, and my 2 feet. It's not glamorous, it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be, because consistency beats perfection every single time. And I'd rather walk here than waste a whole day doing nothing. Food was its own little experiment today. I blended chicken breast with cold water, salts, magnesium, turmeric, cayenne, a little gravy, then poured it over peas. Sounds awful, I know, but to me, tastes just like chicken sauce on top of vegetables. It's not about gourmet, it's about fueling my body and keeping the electrolytes in check. So yeah, today I skipped the gym, but I did not skip the work, and that's the real key here. Make the work as simple as possible so there's no excuse not to do it. It wasn't the gym, and it wasn't flashy, but I still showed up. And some days, the simpler the process, the harder it is to fail. Day 37 of my body transformation. This was the hardest day yet. Not because of any particular event, but because nothing really felt good. Every little thing chipped away at me today. I couldn't sleep last night, so I stayed up and decided to take the bus to the gym at 6 AM. The bus was nearly empty, just a few night shift workers heading home. One guy even had a pillow with him. It felt strange. They were finishing their grind and I was just starting mine. I even caught myself wondering if I'd made the right decision coming out this far. There are other gyms closer to me. I could just walk there, but they're just not as well equipped as this one. And of course, I missed my stop. I got kinda lost actually and ended up walking most of the way back. That's when I passed this bakery. The smell hit me like a sucker punch, and for a moment I thought about stopping, but willpower won this round. By the time I made it inside, the gym was busier than I expected. Everyone looked like wrestlers, action figures, or Gymshark models. Then there was me, still big, still new, and for some reason I was the only one recording videos. I thought for sure there'd be some influencers in here somewhere, but nope, just me standing out again. I rotated through cardio, chest and tricep workouts. I wanted to stay longer, but I know my body. I stopped right when I knew I was done. The trip back home was worse than the workout. The bus was packed and I take up a seat and a half. Every time someone glanced at the space near me, then kept walking, it sank deeper. I felt like I was the problem in the room, but then I was also so sore everywhere, and mentally I just felt drained. I grabbed a bottle of flavored water from a store, but honestly all I could think about at that point was Doritos, Pringles and dip. It's the kind of comfort food I used to drown bad days in, but today I didn't. I went home, crashed and ate my patented blended chicken over greens instead. And here's what I realized: not every day is going to feel good. In fact, maybe it's not supposed to. Maybe the suffering, the soreness, awkwardness and the mental fatigue are some of the actual ingredients this journey requires. This isn't about chasing comfort, it's about doing the work, even when everything in me is saying not to, because no one else can do this for me, and like it or not, it has to get done. Day 38 of my body transformation. The hardest part today wasn't the workout, it was getting out of bed. That moment after the alarm where the brain starts listing every excuse in the book. Too sore, too tired, I'll go later. I almost listened, almost. But instead, I swung my legs out and got moving. By 5:30 AM, I was on the bus again. Similar crowd, night shift workers heading home while I was just heading in. It makes me feel like I'm on some alternate schedule, like I'm not living the same life as everyone else. But maybe that's the point. The gym felt different today though. Yesterday I was just another face in the corner. Today a couple people nodded and said hello. Small thing, but it felt like progress. Not just physically, but socially. I rotated between cardio, back and bicep workouts. But the moment that stuck to me was meeting someone. I'll call him Sim. He recognized me from Instagram, said he's seen all my videos and that he's trying to get right too. We talked and laughed for a minute, then both went back to our grind. Walking out, I thought about how wild this is. A month ago, I was just filming myself pasted around my apartment. Now I've got people in real life telling me they've seen my journey and they're supporting. At times, all of this support feels heavy, but I'd rather carry the weight of expectation than the weight that held me down before. This is pressure I can actually use. Day 39 of my body transformation. It's becoming routine now. Wake up, get dressed, pack my bag, ride the early bus, walk into the gym. It's not easier. It just feels like less of a choice now. Like brushing your teeth. You don't argue with yourself about it. You just do it. I felt tired today. A little sick too. Maybe it's the early morning chill or my body just adjusting still. Either way, I wasn't exactly moving with energy, but still, I moved. I'd rather show up tired than not show up at all. Cardio took most of my fuel today. I picked up some weights after, but I barely had the juice for it. Right now the goal is just burning calories and burning excuses. So I move. I pick things up until I can't anymore. Simple, ugly, and effective. This is becoming my new environment. Not just a place I go, but a place I grow. When I got home, I crashed straight away. Everything hurt, but the pain is different now. It's not just soreness, it's a signal that something is working, that I'm changing, and I keep reminding myself there's no version of this that doesn't hurt, so I might as well make the pain count. 39 days in, and somehow, despite everything, I'm still showing up. So tomorrow, here, I'll show up again. Day 40 of my body transformation. Today was rough. Actually no, let's call it what it is. It was the worst day so far. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. sore, tired but ready. Started packing my gym bag, sorting my meal for the day, getting dressed like I always do. Then I checked my bank. £1.35. A bill had gone out overnight, and just like that, the money I had set aside for the bus fare was gone. I didn't realize today was the day all my subscriptions and bills were due. That's on me. I should have tracked the date better. But in that moment, standing there dressed and ready, with no way to get to the gym, I felt defeated. Now I'm not broke. I keep most of my money in a savings account, which takes 7 days to withdraw from. That's how I've stopped binge eating. I removed access to bad decisions. And for the most part, it's been one of the best choices I've ever made. But today was one of the drawbacks. I had no way to get to the gym. So I took a walk by the river instead. Better than nothing, but let's be real. It wasn't what I had planned. To make things worse, my Fitbit watch is dead. Yesterday I used the sauna after my gym session. 20 minutes in and it started glitching. Today it won't even turn on beyond the startup screen. I think the heat fried it completely. Again, my fault, my responsibility, which I guess kinda mirrors this whole journey. You mess up, you own it, and you fix it. Still, it sucks. I had planned to use the sauna to cut some water weight before the next weigh-in. I've been drinking loads of water this week with that exact plan in mind. Now, no bus money, no sauna, and no Fitbit watch. No way to properly track my output. And I already know the scale on Sunday is gonna kick my ass. It's not just the physical soreness that's getting to me right now. It's the mental fatigue. I worked so hard this week, but I know the numbers won't reflect it. And when you set high standards and don't hit them, it stings. Even if it's temporary, it still hurts. I get paid Monday, so it's not forever. I'll bounce back. But in this moment, yeah, I feel like I let myself down. And I'm the only one who can make it right. Not every day's a win. Some days are just damage control. But I'm still here, still accountable, still moving forward. Because even on the worst days, the mission doesn't change. Alright, get right gang, it's week 6. Last week I weighed 487 pounds. Let's find out what I weigh this week. Might surprise some of you. Maybe some of you won't be surprised if you've been paying attention. 493 flat. So that's a gain. That's a gain. I gained weight. Gained about 5 pounds, 5 point something pounds. Ooh. So if you've been watching my videos this week, you probably aren't too surprised. You had an idea that was coming. I knew it was coming. Had some challenges I had to overcome this week. And as part of that, I knew there was going to be a bit of a weight gain. Despite all the work I put in. And believe me, I've been working hard this week. So I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I wanted to consistently go weeks without putting on any weight at all, whether it's water weight or not. But it didn't go according to plan this week. So it's just one of them things. I just have to suck it up and just get over it. And the weigh-in's done now. I guess it's just on to next week now. So next week should be a pretty significant loss. So there's that to look forward to. But this week is about a 5 pound gain. It was going to happen eventually, right? And today is the week. So there you go. All right. So I won't lie. So I've lost 43 pounds in 6 weeks so far. But at first glance, it might not look crazy different. But when I sit and really look at it, I can see that my legs are definitely leaner and my face and shoulders are starting to shape up too. I think my stomach doesn't look as heavy as before as well. So I know it's only small stuff, but at the end of the day, the small stuff stacks. And I'd call it more of a shift than a transformation so far. So still lots of work to do, and I'm not there yet, but I am getting there. Let's get right, guys. Let's keep pushing. Day 43 of my body transformation. I didn't train today, still surprisingly sore from last week's workouts. So instead, I went to the beach. Yeah, living in England, you don't take sunny weather for granted. It's rare. And looking at the forecast, I felt like today might be one of the last warm days we get this year. So I figured, why not? I walked most of the way there, just soaking in the outside world. It's wild how different it felt, considering how much time I used to spend pacing inside my apartment. When I got there though, it took a while to unwind, because working in social media, I'm so used to being plugged in, thinking about content, camera shots, always planning ahead. But being still, that's actually hard. But I tried. The water was cold, not freezing, but enough to jolt my senses. I probably absorbed some electrolytes just walking in it, which can't be a bad thing, right? There were families, kids, dogs running around, joy all around me. And though I couldn't fully unplug, I did take a moment just to look out at the open water and admire the beauty God had made. It reminded me the earth is much bigger than whatever problems I'm stressing about. So I wasn't chasing steps today, wasn't trying to hit a calorie burn or push through pain. Today was about slowing down, letting my body catch up on the work I've been doing, because recovery is part of the process too. And today was a good day. Day 44 of my body transformation. I woke up late today, sore as hell from the night before, but somehow I felt ready. Almost like my body finally caught up to the grind and decided to bounce back. So I packed my bag, jumped on a bus and headed for the gym. It was lunchtime, but surprisingly empty, even quieter than the mornings. Tells you something about how dialed in the people at this gym are. These aren't casuals. Today was a cardio heavy day. I rotated between the recumbent bike, the ski machine, the treadmill, and of course, the heavy bag. And you know what? There were some small wins today which felt like big ones. First of all, the heavy bag used to drain me in 2 minutes flat. Today, I was hitting it hard for 5 minutes and still had gas in the tank. The machines I used to struggle on, now I'm pushing harder and lasted longer. I also caught myself doing something I used to never do, talking to people, just naturally starting conversations. Men, women, it didn't matter. And it felt normal. I was confident, like maybe something in me is shifting. On the way home, I grabbed a German doner kebab. Never had one before. And it looked better than it tasted. But hey, it was protein and a welcome break from all the blended chicken. I followed it up with a protein shake when I got home and called it a day. It's good to be back in the gym training again. I really struggle with rest days, even though I know I need them. But getting back in the gym today felt like coming home. And honestly, there's no place like it. Day 45 of my body transformation. I almost didn't make it today. One thing after another kept going wrong. It's like the world just wanted me to sit this one out. First, my headphones randomly stopped working. Then I tried replacing the refill on my carbonated water machine and it immediately broke. That alone drained my energy and had me ready to crawl right back into bed. But I pushed through, got dressed and left the house. Only to realize I forgot my gym shirt. Halfway down the street, I had to turn back around and I'm not gonna lie, that was the moment I nearly gave up on the entire day. Everything felt heavier than it should have. And when you're already sore, tired, and mentally fried, it's like every little setback gets magnified. I sat there for like another hour, arguing with myself. Do I go back out or just take the L and try again tomorrow? Eventually, I chose war. I put the shirt on, packed the bag again, and headed back out. By the time I got to the gym, I was already mentally worn out. But once I stepped into the functional area they call Inferno, something switched. I rotated through the bike, ski machine, tire flips, heavy bag, battle ropes, over and over. It hurt, round after round, for over 2 hours. I was drenched, sore, but locked in. And something else happened today. I stopped caring so much about who was watching. I set up my tripod with way less hesitation, still being respectful, not filming people as much as possible, but I wasn't hiding anymore. So yeah, today started out as a mess, but it ended with fire, literally, in the Inferno section. And now it's another W in the win column. So even when it feels like life is pushing back, I'll do my best to keep pushing harder. Day 46 of my body transformation. I pushed myself today, or maybe I should say we did, because today I trained with someone I met on Instagram just last week. His name's Joel. He saw my videos, reached out and said he wanted to support what I was doing. Turns out we live pretty close to each other and we're built kind of similar, so I figured why not link up for a session. We hit the gym together and got after it. There's something about training with someone who's been through it. The pace is right, the energies were matched, and even when we were tired, we both went a little bit harder just because we weren't in it alone. It still surprises me how much has changed since I started documenting this journey. It was only a few weeks ago that I was pacing my apartment alone. Now I've got people reaching out from all over, and some people actually showing up to walk this road with me. Doors are opening, connections are forming, and somewhere between all this sweat and sore joints, I think I'm actually getting my life together, one day at a time. It's week 7 of my live weigh-ins. Last week I was 492 pounds. Let's see what I weigh this week. Let's go. Come on. All right. Same number both times. 483.4 pounds this week. That's a 9-pound drop since last week, just around 9 pounds. Back in the low 480 range. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not double digits, very close to double digits. I believe that's 53 pounds lost in 7 weeks. So 53 pounds in 49 days. So yeah, let's keep pushing, guys. Let's get right on to next week. I've now lost 52 pounds in just 49 days. Pretty good. I'm happy with the progress so far. I think the biggest difference that I can visibly see is my stomach and my face. My face is a lot slimmer. I'm looking more confident and leaner. The body is still fighting back, but it's getting there slowly but surely. It's hard, but I'm locked in. Let's keep pushing, let's get right. Day 50 of my body transformation. 50 days ago, I was 536 pounds. I was tired all the time, eating out of boredom, pain and habit. I wasn't sure I'd really changed, but I knew I had to try. So I picked up my phone and I pressed record. I started just by walking back and forth in my apartment, just burning calories and documenting everything. Since then, I've lost 53 pounds. I built daily routines, walked miles, lifted weights, pushed through soreness, cravings, mental breakdowns, and days where I wanted to quit. I joined the gym, took the bus at 5 a.m. surrounded by strangers coming off night shifts, filmed my workouts around fitness models, bodybuilders, while feeling like the odd one out, but I kept showing up. I've gone from hiding my body to showing it to thousands, from emotional eating to just eating for fuel, from complete isolation to building a community of people who actually want to see me win. Don't get me wrong, I'm still heavy. I'm still in the early stages of the journey, but I'm not where I was before, and I'm not going back. So if you're watching this, just know it doesn't take perfection, it just takes persistence, day after day after day. And now we're 50 days in, so let's keep pushing and let's get right. Day 51 of my body transformation. This was the hardest workout so far, no question. I met up again with Joe, the guy I connected with on Instagram last week. On a drive to the gym, he looked at me and said, "Be ready, today's gonna be hell." I thought, how bad can it really be? I was about to find out. We started off warming up on the bikes, 10 minutes, no problem. Then the real battle began. Joe set up what I now call the circuit of Satan. Deadlifts, squats, dumbbell presses, medicine ball slams, and worst of all, that brutal air-dying bike. By the end of it, I was laid out, fully cooked, and we were only halfway done. Then came the weight training, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns, shoulder presses. There were moments I had to stop and sit down, lightheaded, fully drained, while Joe kept going on, and that stung. I've never really trained with someone who could lift more than me and do it for more reps before. The competitor in me didn't like that, but I needed it. We're on the same mission, getting stronger, getting healthier, but that little fire inside me lit up. I want to catch up, maybe even pass him someday. That's what brotherhood does to you, it pushes you. So yeah, I hated almost every second of this session. It was hard, it pushed me to my limits, but I never gave up and I did every exercise. And that's all that matters. I showed up, and as hellish as it felt, next time I'll show up again. Day 52 of my body transformation. Today I got a package in the mail and it felt like perfect timing. The team over at Psych Plus sent me one of their mini pedal exercises to try out. It's kinda wild to think that companies are now reaching out to support this journey, and that means a lot. I unboxed it and the first thing I noticed, no assembly at all. It was ready to use right out of the box. It's also super lightweight. If I worked a desk job at an office, this would definitely live under my desk. It's also basically silent when pedaling, which is a huge plus. I used it under my chair while watching some content, and then again while watching YouTube videos on my computer, and I was actually surprised by how much of a burn I got. It's got adjustable resistance too, so that I could easily crank it up or down depending on how I'm feeling. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a replacement for the gym, but it is another weapon in the toolkit, especially for those days where I don't make it outside or want to get some extra movement in while at home. So shout out to Psych Plus for showing some love, and shout out to all of you for riding with me too. Every bit of support I get from companies, followers and friends, it all helps my chances of succeeding, and with one more tool in the kit, I like my chances of getting right even more. Day 53 of my body transformation. Today was a good day. I finally managed to do a proper food shop. Filled the freezer with lots of fresh whole foods. Chicken, beef, broccoli, spinach, oats. But if I'm being honest, one of the hardest parts of this whole journey has been the fight against junk food. The cravings do hit hard sometimes. So I was actually pretty excited when Uncrave reached out to me and offered to sponsor this video. They've got this app designed to help people deal with just exactly that. Those moments when your brain starts trying to convince you that you need to go off track. I downloaded their app, signed up and started looking around. Wasn't sure what to expect until I saw this big red panic button. Obviously I pressed it. At first I was just messing around, pulling faces at the camera and just being silly, but then I realized what it's really for. It's designed to interrupt the craving spiral and shake your brain out of it. The phone vibrates hard and throws up reminders of why you don't want to give in, and even connects you with other people going through the same battle in real time. I'm not saying it's magic, but in those weak moments, tools like this could be the difference between me staying on track or regretting my choices that day. Because when it comes down to it, eating right is 80% of the game, and if anything can help me to win that battle, it's a weapon I'll gladly keep close to me. Okay, it's time for week 8 of my live weigh-ins. Last week I was 483.4 pounds. Let's find out what I weigh this week. Here it goes. Ooh, could be a lot, could be better, could be worse. 480.8. Ah, so close. So 480.8. That's only 2.6 pounds drop. Haven't dropped a crazy number this week, but it's still progress in the right direction. So I'm grateful for that. Could be better, could be worse, but it's still progress. As long as it's going down, everything's good. Week 8 live weigh-in, 480.8. I wish I was in the 470s, but hey, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and Rome wasn't built in a day. So let's keep pushing on to next week. It's been 56 days of my weight loss journey so far, and I've now lost 55.2 pounds. Just a little bit under 1 pound a day. So far, so good. I'm very happy with the changes on my body. Starting to look a little bit leaner, a little bit tighter. Every single week, it seems to get slightly better. I can definitely see the progress happening in real time, and there's still a long way to go to get to my goal weight of 200 pounds, but we're gonna get there slowly but surely. Stay tuned, guys. Let's keep it up.